Hey everyone, so for today's video, it's gonna be a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more of a heart-to-heart type of thing. I've been debating about this video for a very long time, and I wasn't gonna do it because I was afraid of how emotional I was gonna get. As you all know, today is September 11th, and 11 years ago today, the World Trade Towers in New York City got attacked. The Pentagon in DC got attacked. A plane went down in Pennsylvania. And tower number 7 in the World Trade Towers got attacked. And if you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, you already know how I feel about this day. And to be honest, I'm really ticked off. Not because the towers got attacked, not because the Pentagon, not because of any of the acts of violence that happened that day. I'm more upset as over the years, people who aren't from these areas where things have happened open their big mouths. If you have not lived through it, to be honest, shut the hell up. I've lived through it. The day before, yesterday, September 10th, 2001, I had already graduated high school that June. My sister had enlisted to the Marine Corps that July, and she still had her senior year to go. That was the day I enlisted to the Army in Fort Hamilton, Brooklyn, in New York. Fine. I enlisted to the Army. I was going to venture on a new career. I just graduated high school. I was going to see the world and find out who I was. The morning of September 11th changed all that. My father was on his way to the towers that morning for a meeting. My Uncle Peter, my dad's brother, had a meeting there that morning. I recently found out that my girlfriend's aunt worked there. That morning, she was late as well. All these people that I hold dear to my heart somehow were late that morning and did not make it into work. Or they made it into work, but after the attacks had happened. When it all happened, I was at home with my mother. My 3 sisters were in school, and I was preparing to go work out so I can get ready to leave because I wasn't leaving for basic training till November. I get a phone call from my dad's best friend. Hey, turn on the TV, see what's going on. I turn on the TV, and I watch everything unfold from my eyes. My sister Kathleen was running out of her high school, which is on a hill in Staten Island, and she saw the towers fall in front of her face. My Uncle Charlie and my Aunt Michelle live in Queens. That morning, my Aunt Michelle ended up in my grandmother's house in Staten Island, and my Uncle Charlie ended up in Queens back home. My father ended up under the Brooklyn Bridge in Brooklyn, in a command center controlling all the ham radios in Staten Island and New York. My mother ended up in St. Vincent's Hospital, away from, about a mile or so away from my house, in a little room in her own command center. Me? I had to make sure all my sisters were home. I had to go grab my little sister from school and watch them. I didn't see my parents for 3 days straight. First thing that came to my mind when I saw the towers go down, oh shit, I'm going to basic early. Or if not even basic, I'm going straight to Afghanistan. My mother, petrified as all hell. She's got 2 daughters now enlisted into the military. She was afraid she was never going to see us. And we got people here in New York who lived through it who are blaming the Arab culture. Get the fuck over it. It is not the Arab culture. It's just a few select people who had the harebrained scheme to attack the towers. We all remember September 11th. We all remember what we were doing September 10th. We all remember how we felt September 12th. How many of you remember the first attacks on the World Trade Center in 1993? With the car bombs in the lower of the basement. They were Arab. Those idiots were found in Jersey City trying to get the receipt back from their damn cars. If you want to blame a culture, then you're an idiot. Because it's not the culture that's doing it. It's these people. You want to go back in history? Alright, let's blame the Spaniards and the British who came over and found America because of religious beliefs that they weren't able to practice. And they came in and enslaved the Indians, the real true Americans. If you want to talk more about blaming cultures, blame Hitler. He was German. He wanted an all-German race, so he was killing off Jews. The idiot wanted blonde hair and blue eyes when his own ass was brunette with brown eyes. Let's talk about the white American race and the KKK enslaving blacks. It's not a culture thing. It's a few select people. Now, when I went to basic, I was one of very few who enlisted before the attacks. Everybody else in my basic training and every boot camp and basic training around the world since September 11th have enlisted because of September 11th. They all had heart. They all had pride in themselves and in their country. Now, I did serve my country. I went to Iraq twice, and I've met with these people. I've seen them every single day. They're just like you and I. All they want to do is raise their kids and give their kids a better life than what they had growing up, which is the same right for every parent. Now, I did go to Iraq. It wasn't the most pleasant of experiences, but I did my job. So, while you're remembering today, remember the other attacks. Remember the people you have lost. If you haven't experienced it, don't say anything. Oh, our country is this. Oh, our country is that. We need to blah, blah. No. Remember the day. Keep your mouth shut. And that's it. I don't want to hear your mouth yapping about this because you haven't felt the heartache. You haven't felt the pain. You weren't there when it happened. You're from Omaha, Nebraska. You're from Alaska. Hell, you're from Texas. If you weren't there and you haven't experienced it, keep your mouth shut. This is my rant for the day. Remember September 11th? I love you. Bye.